Isaiah brought up Babylon, and he was going into Chaldean, the daughter of the Chaldeans, right? So I'm gonna go into Jeremiah. I started at the top, 51 and 1. Thus saith the Lord Yahawah, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind, and will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow.
Now who shall be around her? Who shall be around this country, North America? It tell you in chapter 50, Jeremiah 50 and verse 9, assemble yourselves together, all ye nations. Go ahead.
And against him that lifteth up himself in his brigadine, and spare ye not her young men.
Hey, that's talking about you Edomites that lifted up yourself in your brigadine. Go ahead.
Destroy ye utterly all her hosts.
Right.
Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans.
Right.
And they that are thrust through in her streets. For Yasharallah hath not been forsaken, nor Judah of his power. Of the Lord of hosts, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, through their lands, Salakia, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel.
Right.
Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul.
And that's what we out here doing right now as watchmen over Israel. We're waking up whoever, okay, the elect. Trying to, hey, as we fleeing, we trying to deliver every man his soul. Go ahead, dog.
Be not cut off in her iniquity.
Right.
For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance.
And that's the same precept the brothers that read in Revelation 18, man. Go ahead.
He will render unto her a recompense.
Right.
Verse 7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand.
And that's the same thing he just read in Revelation 18. Go ahead.
That made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine.
Hey, that's why, again, in Revelation 18, he said, fill to her the cup double, man. And the nations in Revelation 18, when he said, repay her back double, that's what he reading right now, man. Talking about the nations that Esau Edom has destroyed with their democracy, man. Go ahead.
Jeremiah 51 and 7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine.
Right.
Therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed.
Hey, that's why Isaiah 47 and 1 say, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon.
If I can say this, when you go into how these kingdoms rise and fall, man, they don't rise easy and they don't fall easy, man.
Right.
It's always, when the Lord proclaims a destruction, it's usually a process of time that that thing gets destroyed. You know?
Howl for her. Take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed.
Hey, we don't got no ointment for you, man. Yahweh shall come in with destruction, man.
Right.
Go ahead,
We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven.
Hey, it just said that in Revelation 18, man. Go ahead.
And is lifted up even to the skies. The Lord hath brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us, the Lord hath brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord, our power.
And we doing that right now, man. We out here right now declaring that. Okay? When you read, he tell you, matter of fact, let me get it
Because it said Israel has not been forsaken too, man.
Let me find
you know, because really when you look at the grand scheme of things, these other nations look at our people as forsaken. We're helpless, we're stupid to them, we're criminals, the scum of the earth to them. But the Lord is saying, man, that Israel is not forsaken. That's why I say in Ezekiel that they shall know that Israel went into captivity for their iniquity.
Let's
goes to what the brother said. This is Romans chapter 11, verse 1. Say then, have Yahawah by Hashem Yahawashi cast away his people? Yahawah forbid. For I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham of the tribe of Benjamin.
Exactly, and that's the conclusion of the New Testament. That the Lord is not forsaking his people, no matter where they've been scattered, no matter what they believe that they are, nationality-wise, or whatever they're worshiping. The Lord has not forsaken them, and he's giving them an open chance to come back home. That's why the prophets are doing what? They're bidding to the marriage. But now we're at the end of Babylon's reign. We're at the end of the whore that sitteth upon many waters. We're at the end of her dance, man. She done got tipsy, she done got drunk, and now she at that process where she throwing up everything she done took down. She was taking it all down, she was getting loose. It said she was drunk on the blood of the prophets, man. She was out here getting loose with it, drunk up, middle of the dance floor, time of her life. Now that other side of that coming. Now you gotta wake up. And that's the time that we in now.
I got a precept.
Go ahead.
This Isaiah 61, verse 1. The Spirit of the Lord Yahawah by Hashem Yahawashi power is upon me, because the Lord Yahawah have anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives,
Right.
which is you so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans.
And if I can say this, what does a captive do after a long time in captivity? They start trying to make the best out of a worse situation.
Right.
Well, shit, since I'm in here, let me go ahead and double up on my snacks.
Right.
Or shit, let me get a couple books. Let me hit the weights. Let me see if I can get a little female out there to marry me so I can get some conjugal. You just start making the best out of a worse situation.
Well, why do they do that? Because that captive, that slave, lost faith. He gave up hope. So that's why he's doing that. Go ahead.
Woe unto them that lost patience, that lost faith, man. What are you gonna do when the Lord visits you, man?
Right.
When the Lord open your cage, now I'm good, Op.
I want to stay.
I want to stay. He closed the cell behind him. He's Op. You trying to open it for me, fighting you to keep it closed? Like I'm straight.
Got it good here, Op.
Yeah. You see all these noodle packs? I work hard for this shit, man. You gonna let me out? Nah. The Lord is saying, look, y'all got more than this, man. Y'all are bigger, y'all are more than jail cells, y'all are more than prisoners. You know, y'all the prince of the Lord. When you go, if any brother haven't seen it, watch the Man in the Iron Mask. Have y'all brothers seen that before?
With Leonardo DiCaprio.
You saw it?
I seen that back in the day.
You saw it? Check out Man in the Iron Mask. When you go into it, it's about a twin. One is a king, and the other is the rightful king. But because he wanted his spot, he covered his face with an iron mask and put him in the judgment. That iron mask represents taking our identity away, and that judgment represents what we are now. But he's the rightful king. And when you go into the Three Musketeers, what they did, they took him out of there, and then they had to do what? They had to train him on how to be a king.
Train him on how to be a king.
So he could get in that spot, and it's like nothing changed.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing now. The Lord took the iron mask off us now. Now we know who we are. Now we're learning etiquette, spiritual etiquette, man. I'm sorry, bro.
You good. So he has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord Yahawah by Hashem Yahawashi, and the day of vengeance of our power, to comfort all that mourn.
And the Lord is bringing vengeance on these so-called white people, man. And that's going to be said and reiterated, man. Because this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. Who's he mad at? If the Lord's coming back with vengeance, you have to ask, who's he coming back with vengeance against, man?
Right.
Say the Lord's going to fight for the controversy of Israel. In Joel, the 3rd chapter, it says that the Lord's going to send all of these nations into the valley of Jehoshaphat for what? For his heritage and his people Israel, whom they have scattered. And sold a boy for a harlot, man. We not going to stop talking about that, man. So-called white people walking around here like they innocent, man. Like they ain't all accessories to murder.
Got a brief?
I want to say something right quick. I want to go back in Jeremiah, right? That 51 is fire. But remember we was talking about the bear, right? Who'd you say the bear was? The Medes and the Persians, right?
Right.
It's funny because it's no. Let me bring it out. Jeremiah 51 and 11. Make bright. It's talking about the destruction. You can break it down. Make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the
Jeremiah
Medes.
50 and 9.
And the Medes right now is Iran, and that's what you see in the news, man.
Right.
So this prophecy is being fulfilled now, man.
Right.
It says, make bright the arrow, and that's the missiles. Make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes.
Right.
For his device is against Babylon to destroy it.
Right.
Because it is the vengeance of the Lord. Because you were talking about the vengeance of the Lord. And the Lord is no new thing under the sun. He does the same thing over and over and over. The same kingdoms that took the Lord is bad, man. Man. Anyway, Salakia. It says, for his device is against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple.
And what is his temple, man? Ye are all lively stones, man. This is the vengeance of the Lord's temple, man. We out here and we're doing what? We're gathering ourselves together, make sure we're in a nice little pile, so the Lord can come scoop us up and get rid of all the excess, man.
He that toucheth you touches the apple of my eye.
We can't make this stuff up. We gotta be those men, Lord's willing. We endure to the end.
Well, we know we the Israelites.
Yeah.
So
overall,
we gonna get delivered.
It's a victory regardless.
But you can tell the Rakam Kodash is working, because the brother, it just links up, man.
Right.
Verse 12. Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon. What's the standard? You just brought it out, man.
We out here doing it, man.
Right.
That's
The
crazy,
Lord say he's gonna set up little sanctuaries everywhere we've been scattered, man.
Right.
These are little sanctuaries. And it's a reason why the brothers are getting assembling themselves together, because we're at that time, man. We're at the time at the end of this reign of terror, man. We're at the end of it, man. This coke binge of a kingdom, man. We're at the end of this thing, man.
Got a quick preset to go into those little sanctuaries real quick. Isaiah 44, verse 3, verse 2. Thus saith the Lord Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi, that made thee, that formed thee from the womb, which will help thee. Fear not, O Jacob, my servant, and thou Jeshurun, whom I have chosen. For I will pour water upon him that is thirsty, and floods upon the dry ground. I will pour my spirit upon thy seed, and my blessing upon thy offspring, and they shall spring up as among the grass, as the willows by the watercourses.
And that's what we are doing. We're springing up. And that shows you that the Spirit of the Lord is likened under water as well, man. Because this understanding is likened under water. And all these other nations not going to get the water, man.
Right.
They all dehydrated, including 2/3 of our people. They're not thirsty for what's going on out here. Esau has it fixed in his mind that he's going to reign forever. So he's all locked in. He's locked in what he believes, man.
Oh, I got another 2:8. Hold on. You got present?
Yeah, I was gonna give him.
The Lord said, and the Lord has said in when he gave Cain the judgment, he said his face shall be hid from the Lord. That's why these so-called white people don't understand spirituality, man. Because it's not in them, man.
Yeah, I want you to bring that.
This ain't for them, man. They are completely adverse to anything spiritual. Because they are the opposite side of the spectrum. Our nation is highly spiritual. So for them to be the opposite of us, they have to be what? They have to be completely carnal.
Two manner of people.
Right.
Separated.
Right.
Two different spirits, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Book of Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 8. When the Most High divided nations, their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. So the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance.
And they're about to find out how hard the Lord is willing to fight for his child.
Right.
That's exactly what they're about to find out. They're about to find out how a father's wrath really looks like. When he owns everything and created everything. They're about to find out how hard he's willing to go, man. And this is just the beginning. They already shaking, and the Lord only throwing jabs, man. He ain't even really connected yet, man. He just shadow boxing.
Right.
And they already stumbling, man. They're about to find out how hard the Lord is really willing to fight for his child, man. If you got a child and somebody did something to him, imagine how you feel. This nation is the Lord's child, which means it does not belong to these so-called white people or these other nations. And they don't even have business talking shit about our nation. The Lord said, a dog shall not move his tongue against the children of Israel, man or beast. Come on, man.
Now the brother just was in, hold on 1 second. The brother just was in Jeremiah 51, talking about how the Lord gonna raise up the spirit of the Medes, right? Which is Iran today. Read that.
Real quick. You're gonna go in. Hold up. I don't want to bring up something he said, the lot. What? Jacob is the lot of his inheritance, right?
That's right.
I looked up Lot the other day, right?
Hey, let's get
You
it.
looked it up? This is Lot, right? It says a large number or amount, a great deal. So we are a great deal, man.
Right. Of
It said
importance, man.
A particular group, a collection, or the set of people or things.
And that same
Jacob.
power, that same power being the same yesterday, today, and
Yeah,
tomorrow,
forever.
man.
Right,
My bad,
right,
I just
right.
want I had
Oh, you good,
No,
you
that's
good.
beautiful,
That's good,
man.
that's
That's
good,
beautiful because that shows you that the Lord now, he didn't change, man.
He said we a great deal.
Great deal.
Great deal.
Come on, man. You got it, brother. Back
A chosen people, a royal priesthood, man.
He had me an apple of his eye. I
A
was done.
peculiar treasure,
God,
man.
above all people.
Yeah. Hey.
Right,
You
right.
had me at hello.
That's beautiful.
Hey, you had me at Shalom.
Yeah, beautiful point.
Shalom, what you said again?
Beautiful point. Beautiful point. Bring that up.
This is Jeremiah chapter 50, starting at 9. For lo, I will for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations
Right.
from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her.
Against who? Against North America, man. Go ahead.
From thence she shall be taken.
Right,
Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man.
right,
None shall return in vain.
right. Go ahead.
Expert. They ain't gonna miss their mark.
Yeah,
They ain't gonna miss their mark.
That's in Joel's 2nd chapter. They shall not break their rank. Right. Go
Hey,
ahead.
what was the name of Will Smith character in that movie? Deadshot or something. He couldn't miss.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, hey, they ain't gonna miss their mark. It's 10.
Hold on.
200 million minutes. You're talking about that in the ambulance coming in.
Every time the spirit get flowing.
It's all good. Go ahead.
50 and 10 in Jeremiah. And Chaldea shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied.
Hey.
Satisfied.
That's talking about the, go ahead. Go ahead. Go
Because
ahead.
that's what's happening now, man. When you look at international news, they shit on America, man.
Con.
And that's how it starts. It always starts with what you call propaganda. And then eventually it gets physical.
Hey, Maduro, they cut. I was watching the news. I had to go catch it on a international station. Maduro was giving a live press conference. He was calling them gringo. He was disrespecting them, man. He was exposing the white man, man. Going in. My bad.
Nah, you good. You call them criminals, man.
Go ahead.
brother. Go ahead.
He made me think. Every nation doing it. Putin selling America out. The president of Iran selling America out. Venezuela's president, as the brother said, selling America out. This place is done.
This place is done.
Done.
And all of these nations, the Lord is using that mindset to bring about America's destruction.
Con.
Because she's fulfilled her purpose. That's why the Lord says her sins have reached unto heaven. That's why in Lamentations it says, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Babylon. And then it tells Israel what? Your iniquity is complete. I will no more bring you in captivity again. Once the Lord's reached that point, destruction happens for these people, man.
Precept.
You got it, brother.
Bring it out.
Obadiah chapter 1 verse 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border.
Because out of all the so-called white nations, this is the proudest one, man. And the Lord is saving this one for the last. That's why they're dropping now, man. That's why you have all of these plagues being hit on America, man. Because she said that she was gonna be she wasn't gonna be a widow.
Right.
She was never gonna see the loss of children.
Right.
So the Lord's gonna use her own nation, among other nations, to turn against her, man.
Hold on. Well, she's not gonna be a widow. That means what? Make America great again.
Right. And this is that desperate attempt to get back that glory that they had, man. And that shit is gone, man. You got it, brother.
Obadiah 1 and 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him.
Yeah, and they've deceived America. And one key point is what you see going on in Venezuela, man. Because the Bank of England said, look, we're not giving y'all 20 tons of gold back. That's like you going to Regis Bank with money in that thing, and say, hey man, I'm gonna need my cash. And Regent's bank teller say, no. She don't even give you no expression, she just say, nah.
Right.
Look you dead in your face with a no.
No, I'm gonna give it to him.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna give it to somebody else. So all these other nations are looking around like, well, if they can do that to Venezuela with their 20 tons of gold, I got gold in that bank. So if Wells Fargo can tell me I can't get my money, it may be a possibility that you might not get your money. And that's gonna start to create that scenario where these nations are like, you know what, fuck the war.
I ain't even think about it like that. That's a good point.
That's what the Lord is doing. He's creating these scenarios in Venezuela. Every brother should be watching what's going on because it's Syria 2.0, man. Everywhere Russia has a support system, they try to infiltrate and destabilize, man. Because at this point, they see that they're fighting a losing battle right now, man, and they're getting desperate. Yeah,
that was it on that.
It's real quick. 2 Samuel 22 and 27. With the pure, thou wilt show thyself pure, and with the forward, thou wilt show thyself unsavory. And the afflicted people thou wilt save. But thine eyes are upon the haughty, that thou mayest bring them down.
And that's why in Isaiah 2 and 11 it says, the lofty looks of man shall be humbled in that day. That old cheesy smirk that the Edomites and all these other nations walk around with, that's going to be put to naught in that day, man. Because they ain't not going to have answers. CNN ain't going to be able to answer the questions that's going to be coming their way, man.
You better go to Sway. He ain't got the answers either.
Sway ain't got the answers either. In that Kanye voice, man. Because these nations don't know what's coming up. And the so-called crazy Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans on the corner do. That's the Lord's movie. Like, yeah, y'all the least expected. We ain't no Masons. We ain't in no secret chamber doing handshakes with aprons on, doing all kind of freaky shit. They ain't got the answers. who they worshiping work for who we worshiping. Come on, man. Big fish eat little fish, man. You got it, brother.
This is Jeremiah chapter 49 and 7. Concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in timid?
Yeah.
Is counsel perished from the prudent?
Yeah.
Is their wisdom vanished? Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan. For I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him.
Right.
The time that I will visit him. If grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? If thieves by night, they will destroy till they have enough. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and shall not be able to hide, Salakia, and he shall not be able to hide himself.
Hold up, Sean, hold up. I always read that, and I was thinking about how Esau's a thief and he don't leave enough. But Apostle DeHall was bringing out that that's talking really about the Lord, man. He ain't gonna leave. He's gonna read that over. That he ain't gonna have mercy on him. That's what and I was like, that is what that's saying. Read that over, huh?
I'll start at 9. If grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? If thieves by night, they will destroy till they have enough. But I have made Esau bare.
Stop right there. See, that's the Lord saying. He ain't gonna leave nothing.
Right, because he said they had come to thee.
Yeah.
They're talking about the Lord.
Yeah,
right,
he gonna do that. I never caught that before.
Come.
My bad, Slocky.
No, that's beautiful.
But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself.
Because he was hiding himself under being a Caucasian.
Under being
us.
Yeah, he was hiding himself under being the Jew. He was hiding himself under being American.
You're Esau, I'm Jacob.
He was hiding himself amongst the trees, so to speak.
Hey, a snake. A snake.
Hey, that's why he said the rock, when the Lord comes, he don't want to hide himself again. The rocks fall on us, hide us, man.
That goes into them, that goes into them bunkers, man. And the Lord said none of that is going to work, man.
Nope.
He's going to leave him bare, just like that precept said, man. The Lord is going to pull out every so-called so-called white man, which is the Edomite, he's gonna pull them out and he's gonna judge them thoroughly, man. And that's something that he said thousands of years ago before they even touched our nation. You gotta think, when that came out, when the Lord was talking about Edom, Edom didn't have their hands on us like that. Babylon and them had their hands on us. The Lord was preserving. He was like, look, it's gonna get bad for y'all. Like, could you imagine being Daniel and hearing about all them 4 beasts and knowing that your nation's kingdom ain't coming till after all of that shit?
Oh man.
You on the golden head, we at the toes. Could you imagine getting this kind of news at the golden head era? Bro, it's over with. Lord telling you, hey, you gonna sleep and then you gonna stand in your same lot at the end, at the toes, boy. You started at the head, you gonna end at the foot. And then y'all gonna get a kingdom. The Lord cold, man.
He cold.
But that's why he always gave us little trinkets, little snippets, little snippets of the kingdom, or what the kingdom was gonna be like. Because he was dropping heavy stones on the prophets. Like, look, I'm having Israelites eat babies, we eating shoes, y'all be eating bird shit. Cause y'all keep trying me, I'm gonna do this to y'all. But there's gonna come a time where I'm not gonna do this to y'all no more, and I'm gonna have mercy, and y'all gonna reign forever, even forever and ever. Come on, man, that's the time we in now. That's why brothers should be fired up. We could be at the golden head time right now doing this. We could have a whole bunch more empires to go through. But now we at the end of the so-called white man's era, man. And thank YAHAWASHI, because this man has destroyed the earth, man. Come on, man.
The water YAHAWASHI.
Call Allah YAHAWASHI. This man is destroyed, man. And the Lord, man, if any brother can find it, that precept that says, I've seen 2 great things in the world. The children and living long enough to see your enemies fall, man. I believe it's in Ecclesiasticus.
I got a quick precept.
Being able to live long enough to see your enemies fall. You got it, brother.
It's a quick one. Proverbs chapter 20, verse 21. An inheritance may be gotten hastily at the beginning, but the end thereof shall not be blessed.
And that's the end. The end of, that's why the Lord said, hey, don't despise, don't be like Esau. This man is out of there, man. Would you be jealous of a death row inmate? Would you want to give up your life and get in his cell?
Envy not thou oppressor.
Envy not thou oppressor.
He's out of there, man. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, don't envy Esau, man. Don't.
He's
Hey,
done.
this is Isaiah chapter 63 at the top. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in his greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thy apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people. God. I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in my anger, and trample them in my fury. And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my remnant. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeem is come.
Exactly, and that's the mindset that the Lord has, man. The Lord is coming back, and all he sees is enemy uniforms, man. And that's how the Lord's gonna move. He's gonna see nothing but enemies, and he's gonna take them out. That's why the Lord says he's gonna call them out. Come out of her, my people. And then all he sees is enemy uniforms, and it's going down, man.
I can't be jealous of a judgment like that.
Hey, and that's why you shouldn't be envious of the so-called white man. His destruction is bitter, man. He's on his way out, man. They all defeated now, man. They all defeated in spirit. Opioid crisis. They killing themselves, man. It's over with.
Suicide rate.
It's over with,
OD.
man. Done data, man.
They dying fast and they can be born. Got all type of hell.
And they still proud, man. Come on, man.
I got you. Quick one. Ecclesiastes 10 and 6. Folly is set in great dignity. I know you like that scripture.
I love that.
And the rich sit in low place. I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth.
That's you Edomites, man.
That's you so-called white people. Y'all belong in cages, man. Straight up. All y'all do is destroy the earth, man. Proud devils, man. and we can flip through the history book and get your whole rap sheet. We can read all your charges, man. Really, we can't read all your charges. We can read a good portion of your charges that we actually know about. That's why it's beautiful. The Lord said in Daniel. In Daniel, the Lord said, He has numbered your kingdom and found you wanting, man. All this destruction and all these nations follow behind this so-called white man like he done something special, man. Like he's some kind of God, man. Even the Northern Kingdom, man. Hispanic tribes trying to be like the so-called white man, and he fucking put his foot in your ass, man. Destroyed our people, man.
Who that was? Theodore Roosevelt.
Oh,
on the horse. And this is that servant. This is that servant on horses and princes walking on the earth. When you look, you can see Gad and Judah on both sides of the horse. And you can see this Edomite that's on the horse. That's what that verse is talking about.
This is Ecclesiastes 10 and 6. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place. I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth.
And that's what you see right there, man.
He that diggeth a pit shall fall into it, and whoso breaketh an hedge, a serpent shall bite him.
Right. I got a precept. This Ecclesiastes 25 verse 7.
Yep.
There be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue, a man that have joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemies.
And that's the time we in.
Of his enemies.
Ecclesiastes
25 and 7.
That's the time that we in, man. Let's get Matthew 13 and 17. That's the time that we living in.
You got that Isaiah 34 and 5.
That's why brothers should be on fire, man.
I want to read that.
Because we in that time of the conclusion of the matter, man. We in the time where the other nations, they lose this time, man.
This is Isaiah chapter 34, starting at verse 5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. The sword of the Lord, YAHAWASHI, is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord, YAHAWASHI, hath a sacrifice in Basra.
Which is you Edomites, man. You Idumeans. Go ahead.
And a great slaughter in the land of Idumea.
That's what it is.
Hey, this is Lamentations chapter 4, verse 21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom.
Might as well be glad.
That dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked.
Now hold on. That's the 3rd time that the Lord said that your cup, man. In Revelation 18 and Jeremiah 51 and right here in Lamentation 4, man. That's the 3rd time about that cup, man.
Done that up, man. Verse 22. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. And that's the time that we're living in, man. That's why brothers should be excited in the spirit. This is the time where all these nations lose. How many times have our nation come up in the midst of all these kingdoms and took an L, man?
Oh, man.
We're finally in the time to catch a W, man.
That one, too.
So your little personal situations that's going on shouldn't affect you that much, knowing that we're in the time of catching this W, man. We done already took all these L's. What's another one? We that close to the W, man. We that close to winning, to having YAHAWASHI with us, man. We that close, and for that, it's worth all of the things that we're going through right now, man. Easy work, light work, man. You got a pre?
I got it.
Go ahead, bro.
This one you call Matthew 13 and 17.
Woo.
For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower.
All right, that's good on that. And the point is that many of our forefathers desired to see what we're seeing now, man. The fall of our enemies, man. Like I said in Ecclesiastes 25, man. Seeing the fall of our enemies. This devil done burn our people alive. He done hung our people and then burnt them alive. He done castrated our people. Not only him, but other nations too. Every time you turn on the news, they demonizing our people. Every nation got a slang word for our people, a degrading word for our people. And now we in the time of all of these nations falling and eating their own words, man. We supposed to be fired up in the spirit. You know why? Because we got the truth, man. 100% truth too, man. I should say 144% truth. How about that?
How about that?
And if I could say, when the brother just brought out, it said many righteous men, okay? Because many are called, few are chosen.
Right.
Like the apostle brought up King Saul. King Saul was righteous at one point, but the Lord spewed him out.
Right.
You know?
Hey, that's a calling to keep your shit wired tight right now. Now we in game time, man. Now we in that fourth quarter. Are you gonna be Kobe, or you gonna be a guy that nobody knows the name of, and they'll never know his name? This is the proving ground. This is what separates good from great, man. The Lord didn't call you to just be average and be good. He called you to be great. The name of the elect are gonna live forevermore, man. The progenitors or the patriarchs of every family that they produce in the kingdom.
Hey, if I can say this just on another level, I don't even want to be Kobe. I want to be the brother still playing on the Lakers right now. The Kobe out the game.
hey, but you know what? Kobe retired.
Yeah,
it's a difference.
Yeah, I know.
When you retire on that,
just being funny.
Hey, the Lord's about to call that retirement for the planet, and it's like, look, how you gonna live in your retirement?
I still want to play the game.
Hey, how he gonna retire his prophets? You're gonna be a martyr. That's being retired, bringing it full circle. And the scriptures of the dead in Yahawashi shall rise first.
When you going into that Kobe thing, you know what happens after Kobe done played all of them great works and did all of that? They did what? They hung that man jersey in that stadium.
Right.
Hey, baby.
Right.
What's up?
Got that monthly check
Hey,
coming
like
in.
Paul said, I fought the good fight.
Hey, hey, you trying to have that music playing slow while your shit going up there? Like, yeah, boy, I did that.
Hey,
that's the kingdom, man.
Saying, bro. I fought the good fight,
that's that crowning ceremony with all of the 144,000 being crowned, man. That's why you should store your treasures up in heaven, man. Store your treasures for that spiritual crown that's not gonna go away. Anybody can get a nice little chain here and shine, but it's temporary and it's moth covered. Because thieves can come and take that. Esau can put a charge on you and hide you, man. Look at what they did to Tekashi 6ix9ine, or what he did to himself.
Right.
Pride coming before destruction.
Right.
That man,
he could label you a terrorist and won't nobody find you, bro.
Yeah,
they throw you under Guantanamo Bay. Won't nobody, no lawyer, don't pass go, nothing.
Hey, black bag you, man. Now you in a whole nother country. Eating bologna sandwiches and shit. Now you in a foreign country. You don't know where you at. Or you just wake up in a cell with armed guards, eating bologna sandwiches and shit.
They don't speak English.
Can I get a phone call? Are you serious? Ain't no phone call, bitch. It's that time, man. But you know what? The Lord said what? Fear none of those things that should come against you. I don't care if you hide me. All right? I'm going to do push-ups until the Lord come in. Fuck it.
Straight up, boy.
Hey, whatever it take. You gonna cut my head off? All right, cool.
I'm gonna take names when Yahawashi come back. I'm gonna say, I want that motherfucker there. I want him.
Right.
Hey, in that movie, in that movie, Apostle Paul, Apostle of Christ. Hey, Paul ain't say nothing. He just laid his head.
Hey, he was ready
on
to go.
the wood, ready to get his head cut off. Hey,
he was ready to go, man.
Hey, I fought the good fight.
Like you said, I fought the good. I have not shunned to declare the whole gospel.
Right. Right, man.
That's why you're not supposed to fear none of those things that come against you, man.
Hey, and John 16:33, the Lord say he overcame the world, man. Be of good cheer, man. So it don't even matter no way, man.
It's like you say, you shouldn't be afraid because you already understand death. You understand this. You're not gonna perish if you die in Yahawashi.
Right. Oh, to live is gain, but to die is Yahawashi, man.
You already got the W.
And that's why it says wisdom is the principal thing. With all that getting, get understanding.
Right.
That's why Esau stripped that shit from you, man. YOLO, all that shit is to trick you, man.
Right.
If you know the truth, it'll set you free, bro.
Because you know what? Esau's completely cut off from that side of life.
Right.
That man can't understand anything that's not natural, because this is his room.
No, he knows that them Rothschilds know, brother. That's why they commit incest.
Right.
And they intermarry, because they understand reincarnation, man. They don't want the masses to understand.
That's why they only pass
That's why they intermarry.
That's why they pass their money down to the sons, man, not the
They
daughter.
know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they know they coming back to re-inherit them same monies. Yeah.
But if they know that, they should have known that it's gonna come a time where it's over with.
Yeah, them bastards know. Them bastards know. They know. They the only Edomites that know, but they know. Shit, Isaiah 14:21 tell you that, man. That prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of the fathers. Okay, Exodus 20:5 say every third and fourth generation, man. The Lord punished the iniquity of the children for the father. Got a precept?
Yeah, I got a precept. This
Bring it
is
up.
Romans chapter 11, verse 25.
Yeah.
For I would not, brethren, that you should be ignorant of this mystery.
Right.
Lest ye should be wise in your own conceits, that blindness in part is happened to Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles come in.
Right.
And so all Israel shall be saved, as it is written, there shall come out of Zion a deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob.
You already got the W, man.
Right.
It's already locked, sealed. But if the Lord gave you this truth, that means you're elite. It's time for you to come in here, because the Lord got a special operation for you. He got a special mission for the elect. We're supposed to stand on the highways and hedges, because you got a lot of people that walk around and they actually believe, they just don't have enough faith to come out here and actually do this, man.
Right.
I got a precept. This is 2 Maccabees chapter 7. And
I would give that one.
yeah, man.
I would get the meat off that,
Right,
brother.
right.
That one of my, boy, I love that verse, that boy. That lift me up big time.
2 Maccabees 7 goes into how Antiochus, I just read it. 2 Maccabees chapter 7, 1. It came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken and compelled by the king against the law to taste swine's flesh, and were tormented with scourges and whips. But one of them that spake first said thus, What wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die rather than to transgress the laws of our fathers. Then the king, being in a rage, commanded pans and cauldrons to be made hot, which forthwith being heated, he commanded to cut out the tongue of him that spake first, and to cut off the uttermost parts of his body, and the rest of his brethren and his mother looking on. So this first brother, the king said, look, let's warm up a pan, let's warm up a cauldron. While we heating that up, cut his tongue out his mouth. Cut some more pieces off of him. Let his brothers and let his mother watch. Verse 5, now when he was thus maimed in all his members, he commanded him, being yet alive, to be brought to the fire. So this man's still alive while all of this stuff happened. He said, bring him to the fire. Torture. And to be fried in the pan. And as the vapor of the pan was for a good space dispersed, they exhorted one another with the mother to die manfully, saying thus, the Lord God looketh upon us, and in truth hath comfort in us, as Moses in his song, which witnessed to their faces, declaring, saying, and he shall be comforted in his servants.
Right.
Hey,
through all that torture, man,
Bro.
their faith was on 100, man.
On 1,000.
And what does it say? The things that were written aforetime were written for our what?
For our learning. Because that same thing that he reading about, these Edomites gonna do that with the RFID microchip, man. If you don't take it, hey, you might well prepare, get ready, man.
Verse 7, so when the first was dead after this manner, they brought the second to make him a mocking stock. And when they had pulled off the skin of his head with the hair, they asked him.
Can you imagine that? Having the skin ripped off your head with your hair, man? Go ahead.
They asked him, wilt thou eat before thou be punished throughout every member of thy body?
Well, you Edomite gonna pay, boy.
Like I said, that's torture. Like I said, they come get you, man. Throw you in them damn FEMA camps. That's torture. Esau loved these. That's the history. That's their MO.
Show you that he was doing this before we got over here.
Right. He get off on that stuff, man.
Sick. Continuing on, verse 8, but he answered in his own language and said, no. Wherefore he also received the torment in order as the former did. And when he was at the last gasp, he said, thou like a fury takest us out of this present life, but the King of the world shall raise us up, who have died for his laws, unto everlasting life. After him was the third made a mocking stock. And when he was required, and we're being made a mocking stock now.
Right.
We're being made a mocking stock now. It's not unto death right now. But people see what we're doing and they laugh and they think it's a joke.
2 Chronicles 36:16, man. They mock the messengers of Yahawah, man.
Come on, man. But the things that were written aforetime were written for our learning, man. That we can show the same courage, Lord willing, in the day of our temptation.
Quick precept real quick. Let me bring this out. It goes along with what you're going. This is Romans 8, starting at 36. As it is written, for thy sakes we are killed all the day long. We are accounted as sheep for the slaughter. Nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him that love us. For I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love, our power, which is in Hamashiach, Yahawah Ba'Hashem Yahawashi.
Nah, the scriptures say to live is gain and to die is gain and to live is Yahawashi, man. So either way we win, man. It's a win-win.
I was gonna say, why does he say nothing can separate him? Because if you're part of the elect, you're predestined.
Predestined.
So it's already written.
It's already right.
Yeah. Chosen since the beginning.
That's why
before
I say
the earth was even
to
created.
die is gain, to live is Yahawashi, man. It's a win-win all the way around the board because it was already predestined. Ephesians 1 and 4, man. Yeah, let him finish that.
I want to back you up.
All right, if y'all brothers have precepts in between, go ahead.
Hey.
I was going to read it when you was done too.
Oh, okay.
You want to wait till I'm done?
Yeah, no, I mean the second
Bring it all out, man. Bring it all out, man.
All right, you want to wait till I'm done?
Yeah.
All right. So for real, I put this in your mind frame. Imagine these brothers, you know, and not only that, but their mother watched the children that she had,
man.
And she was encouraging them, like, yeah, stand up for your power, stand up for the Lord. Don't wait, die manfully for this. And that's the mother speaking like.
No, I'm gonna let it run out.
Come on, man. Continuing on, 2 Maccabees chapter 7 and verse 9 again. And when he was at the last gasp, he said, thou like a fury takest us out of this present life, but the King of the world shall raise us up, who have died for his laws, unto everlasting life. After him was the third made a mocking stock, and he was required. He put out his tongue, and that right soon, holding forth his hands manfully, and said courageously, these I had from heaven, and for his laws I despised them, and from him I hope to receive them again. Come on, man. He pulled out his hands and he said, I messed up. But the Lord is going to bring me back and give me some hands again. That shows you that our people understood resurrection, man.
Reincarnation.
Second Maccabees chapter 7 and verse 11 again. And he said courageously, these I had from heaven, and for his laws I despised them. Hey, he said, for the law's sake, fuck my hands, man. For the law's sake, fuck my body. Because I know what? And from him I hope to receive them again. And so much that the king and they that were with him marveled at the young man's courage, for that he nothing regarded the pains. So he didn't even flinch. He was just taking it, man. Come on, man. This is our forefathers we reading about, man. Verse 13, Now when this man was dead also, they tormented and mangled the fourth in like manner. So when he was ready to die, he said thus, it is good, being put to death by men, to look for hope from the Most High, to be raised up again by him. As for thee, thou shalt have no resurrection to life. And he was talking to them Edomites, man. He said they weren't going to have a resurrection to life. Come on, man.
Right, because they don't get no resurrection, man. Because their judgment is 1,000 years of hardcore slavery, and they're going to be done away with.
Verse 15, afterward they brought the fifth also and mangled him. Then looked he unto the king and said, thou hast power over men. Thou art corruptible. Thou doest what thou wilt, yet think not that our nation is forsaken of the Most High. And that's the time we living in now, man.
If I may say this, the Lord, I don't know what scripture it is, but the Lord said, think not of what you would say in that day, but He gonna put it in your
magistrates when you go before the magistrates.
Hey,
He'll put it in your heart, and the Lord put that in their heart to say.
The brothers ain't had no index cards to, hey, before you put me to death, and unscrumple up this little piece of paper.
Hey, just like Stephen, bro, he was in the spirit. When they stoned him, he was in the spirit, man.
Wow, man.
You know?
Wow, man. Verse 17. I'm gonna read 16 one more time. Then he looked unto the king and said, thou hast power over men. Thou art corruptible. Thou doest what thou wilt, yet think not that our nation is forsaken of the Most High.
Right.
But abide a while and behold his great power, how he will torment thee and thy seed, man.
And thy seed.
And thy seed.
Come on, man.
That's Isaiah 14 and 21, man.
We're in the time of the Lord punishing these so-called white people for what they've done, man. Passing around postcards of our people being lynched. You see that? Them Edomites came up here, thought they was about to get a little entertainment, and they heard their name and they got up the street, man. Because this is the Lord bringing out these judgments, man. They did this in the Greek Empire, man. You know how long ago that was? And these brothers had that faithful, like, look, I'm gonna get raised up again, bro. I don't care if it's 3 kingdoms from now. I'm coming back.
And in the Roman Empire, they were burning it. They were burning Jake, man, on the stake, man. In the city, when you watch the movie Paul, Apostle of Christ, man, they was burning them all through the city. They light the whole city up, man. Burn them alive, man, on stakes, man.
And those Christians that they were feeding to the lions was Israelites.
I was about to bring that out, brother. I was about to say the Crusades, they make it seem like it was the Christians. No, they were persecuting us, man. They were throwing us in the Colosseum, feeding us to the lions. When you watch Troy and all that shit, that was us, man.
Right.
And in Rome, when they were feeding Christians to the lions, it tells you that the first church and the first Christians were of the nation of Israel, man. They call them Judeo-Christians. Those were the people that was getting fed to the lions, not these so-called white people that's sitting in the modern church.
You know what I was thinking about? It had to be us, because we was fucking killing the lions, brother. That's why they kept feeding us. So some of us was fighting the lions. You know, some of us was glad warriors, man. That had to be Jake. It was their sport, just like it is now, man. Like you go watch boxing and shit. That's what they did, man.
That's why brothers should be on fire, man. Because now we at the time where all the shit this man done to our people is coming back upon him, man. Who would pity a charmer who's bitten by a snake?
Right.
Come on, man. This man done did all this dirt. Now the Lord's finally called his number. This is the time to rejoice. Continuing on, it's a little bit left on it. What more it is? Yeah, it's a little bit left. Verse 2 Maccabees chapter 7, verse 17. But abide a while and behold his great power, how he will torment thee and thy seed. After him also they brought the 6, who being ready to die said, be not deceived without cause, for we suffered these things for ourselves, having sinned against our power. Therefore marvelous things are done unto us. And that take great integrity.
I will bear the indignation. That Micah 7 and 9, bro.
That takes great integrity, man. That takes great integrity to say, look, in the midst of being tortured, it's my fault.
Hey, that's the same spirit. The male factor? He was in the same spirit, man. They was talking shit. The other ones, when YAHAWASHI had been crucified, he said, nah, we deserve it. The same spirit, man.
Come on, man. We understand, and that's why once you get into this thing, you start understanding it ain't necessarily about blaming the so-called white man. It's about being held accountable for what we've done as a nation of people.
Right. We sin against the Lord.
Exactly.
Man.
That's why he said, gird up thy loins like a man.
Right.
Bear the indignation.
Right.
You know?
Of course, they try to smear us and make it look like all we do is cast all of our faults on the so-called white man. But really and truly, this is about being held accountable. That's why I said we will bear the indignation. Because us as a nation dropped the ball, man. Many times. This ain't about blaming the so-called white man, because this is what he was built to do, man. He's doing his job. That's his job to do. We're not on our job. That's why we have to bear the indignation of YAHAWASHI. And this is a beautiful display of integrity for this brother to say, look, I have sinned, so the Lord has got me in a wild situation right now.
Right.
You said he's doing what he's supposed to. I just was thinking, Revelations told you that. What is it? Which the pale horse? I forget which horse was given to take peace from the earth.
Right.
I forget which horse it was.
Might have been
we can get it so I don't miss.
I'll continue on this.
Finish that.
Go ahead and look for it, brother, and then we'll bring it out. 2 Maccabees chapter 7 and verse 19. But think not thou that takest in hand to strive against the Most High, that thou shalt escape unpunished. What does it say in Jeremiah 49:13? I think it might be 13, but he says, those whose judgment was not to drink the cup.
Right, was sure not to drink of it. They were sure to drink of it.
You think you about to go
unpunished? No.
That's funny too.
That's verse 12.
I gotta bring this out too, because that's funny, because it's talking about Esau, Edom. I didn't want to misspeak, quote whatever. Revelation 6 and 4.
Right.
And there went out another horse that was red.
Right.
And power was given to him
and
that sat thereon to take peace from the earth.
And what was given to him?
And that they should kill one another.
Right.
And there was given unto him a great sword.
That's Esau and his blessing.
If that ain't a coded message for the elect, I don't know what is.
Let me get it. This is Genesis chapter 27, verse 39.
Right.
And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, no, I'll start at 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father?
Right.
Bless me, even me also, O my father.
Right.
And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
And hey, that red horse with the sword, that's Esau Edom, man. That's why I say that red horse, man.
That's the serpents he's seen on horses, man.
Hey, break that yoke off his neck.
Wow.
Man.
Right.
Come on, man.
Because the end of that, because King David had them in slavery, and they broke their yoke. Then we had them in slavery for 1,000 years, and they break their yoke. So that's what it says. They shall break the yoke of Jacob off their neck. Go ahead.
2 Maccabees chapter 7, verse 20. But the mother was marvelous above all,
right,
and worthy of honorable memory. For when she saw her 7 sons slain within the space of one day, she bare it with a good courage.
Well, that's
cold.
cold.
And then 7 mean complete. That
right.
All her sons was killed, man.
Right.
Go ahead, my bad.
She bare it with a good courage because of the hope that she had in the Lord. Yea, she exhorted every one of them in her own language, filled with courageous spirits.
Right.
And stirring up her womanish thoughts with a manly stomach, she said unto them, I cannot tell how ye came into my womb, for neither gave you breath. Slakia. 2 Maccabees 7 and 22. I cannot tell how ye came into my womb,
right,
for I neither gave you breath nor life. Neither was it I that formed the members of every one of you. But doubtless the creator of the world, who formed the generation of man and found out the beginning of all things, will also of his own mercy give you breath and life again, as ye now regard not your own selves for his law's sake.
Reincarnation,
on,
brother.
Man,
She just said reincarnation. She said he will give you breath again. Wow.
Come on, man.
I don't know, before I bring it up, I don't know if I'm going off or not, but the scripture I read before in Ecclesiastes about the womb, the parable about the womb, don't take thought about, you can't find out. Let me just bring it up.
It's Matthew 6.
No, it
by
was,
thought can add another cubit, or you talking about wisdom of Solomon?
it was Ecclesiastes. It was